What is up, guys, and welcome to another video. We're in Spain, back once again in Marbella. I had to drop through and do the annual visit just to see how things are going. You know, the gym scene here is absolutely popping off. I got a couple friends here as well, so you don't have to persuade me to come here. It's always a pleasure. Last year I did spend quite a lot of the summer in Marbella, but I don't really fancy doing that again. I do get a little bit bored after a while, so just popping through to see the crew. So I'm currently on my way to La Cabane, walking through a very beautiful neighborhood, if I do say so myself. This place is actually one of the few beach clubs here in Marbella that I've not checked out. Sheesh! 600 grams of the sirloin. We have sea bass split open. I want to try that as well. It looks sick. That's how you cancel that out.
Alright, fiber intake for the day.
Right then, so I thought I would be basking by the pool today, but it is not that kind of day. It is a restaurant party vibe. It is pretty vibrant, I'm not gonna lie. But I think I'm gonna have to come back here and enjoy the pool because it looks enticing.
TT likes a V-cut or not?
I like a V-cut.
There's nothing like a V-cut. Softer, smoother, nicer. Would you like a cigar, my friend? I have one in my pouch. Man just asked my bodyguard for a He's a bodyguard, no waiter, man.
He's a waiter. Oh, this is good. You see how much gas are around here? It's so expensive. Property in Punta Romano, crazy. Really? Yeah. Right then, after a pretty decent meal and a memorable cigar at La Cabana, we're going to head over to a new spot. We are now at the beachfront, different beachfront, Punta Romano. That is the bougie area for those that don't know. I'm going to head over to a spot called El Chiringuito.
We're gonna have to knock you out if you dare take a shot off.
I'm also being very sensible as well, as always. We will have one cerveza, one celebratory cerveza, and that'll be it. Little canyon. Little canyon. Just a little cheeky canyon. What'll do. So I thought I'd have a little dip since it did look very inviting, and it is definitely quite pleasant. Marbella's the vibe, no doubt about that. There's a hell of a lot going on, and a lot of options when it comes to partying, nightlife, activity. Everybody's drinking, a lot of bad things going on, a lot of good things going on, but there's a lot of temptation here. And believe me, I've been there, done that. I used to live here once upon a time, and I did get sucked into taking things a little bit too far, but now I'm at the point where I can be surrounded by a group of my friends drinking, and I will stay strong and not drink anything at all, or in today's instance, I'll have one and call it a day and just watch everybody else drink whilst I say no and stay on the sparkling waters. Now, it didn't always used to be like that. In fact, a lot of the time when I was drinking, I was trying to escape from something. There was some demons inside of my head. And whenever I did get some alone time and I had to face my demons, I looked to distract myself with the many distractions that was around me, whether that be just going to the gym, maybe going on a night out, drinking myself into oblivion, or just trying to even distract myself with my partner if they were with me at the time. But I never really confronted the issues that I was dealing with when I was alone with my own thoughts. Now, I started therapy when I hit a point where the usual distractions stopped working, and it literally changed everything for me. I had more clarity, more structure, more progress. It's definitely a big part of how I show up better today. in training, in my life, in my career, my mindset. And one of the biggest problems that we're facing today is that men are still staying silent. In fact, 1 out of 4 men are dealing with some sort of mental health issue, and men are 3 to 4 times more likely to die by suicide. And most of us, including myself, are never taught how to deal with this or how to communicate and express our feelings. That's why I'm proud to partner with BetterHelp on their Strong Enough to Ask campaign. Because therapy isn't a weakness, it's power. It's taking control of your growth, your mindset, and your future. BetterHelp makes it easy. Online therapy with licensed professionals, flexible scheduling, no waiting rooms, and switch therapists anytime if it's not the right fit. So whatever you're dealing with, whether it's stress, anxiety, sadness, or even something that you can't explain, don't let it build up over time. Don't bottle it up. Trust me, if you do that, it's either going to destroy you or it's all going to come out and it's not going to be pretty. Go to betterhelp.com/Mike Thurston for 10% off your first month. Start your mental fitness journey today because you're strong enough to ask. Right then, good morning ladies and gentlemen, or should I say afternoon, because we woke up a little bit late today. Yesterday was quite a long one. That spot that we finished up at in Puerto Romano stayed open quite late. It's definitely the spot, well, my favourite spot. There's loads of bars and clubs and places to go on an evening, but that one I feel like is the most elegant, so if you come in here, I definitely recommend going there. Anyway, today, what is the plan? Well, we're just going to take it easy, doing what I usually like to do, and that is eating, training, and of course, doing a little bit of work. I don't think there's a huge amount of things to do in Marbella. I mean, all the things that are to be done have been done because I've spent quite a bit of time here, especially last year. Spent a lot of time here. I would probably say I prefer Ibiza over Marbella, but it's not necessarily better in every way. I got a lot of people asking me which one do you prefer out of the two. So let's go through which are the pros and cons. Starting off in no particular order, we're going to go with beaches. Which place have the superior beaches? Ibiza, easily. The beaches in Marbella are really not that impressive at all. It's either full of rocks, dirty sand, and the water is just not clear, and it's not really that impressive to look at. It's just one straight line, whereas in Ibiza you have so much variety, some of the bluest waters and most stunning coves and beaches. But yeah, they do get a little bit overcrowded in the summer. Next one, gyms. Marbella takes the crown on this one easily. The gyms along Marbella are absolutely top tier. You've got Elements, you've got Real Club Paddle, you've got the IO Club, you've got M13, you've got Oxygen, just to name a few. In Ibiza, you do have a lot of gyms, but you have a lot of small gyms, which are just not that amazing, in my opinion. Next, girls, ladies, women. I would say it's actually fairly even, this one. Both places have quite a diverse selection. I think particularly in Marbella you get quite a lot of Scandinavian women, blonde haired women. Ibiza you get a mix of everybody. I would probably say in Ibiza they're a little bit more wild because everyone is letting loose. Both places top tier in my opinion. Accommodation, Marbella wins that one because it's just, first of all, much cheaper. It's almost half the price to get hotels or Airbnbs in Marbella, and the selection is much bigger because obviously there's a lot more land. In Ibiza, demand, supply, the supply isn't that great, and obviously the demand is through the roof in the summer months, so the prices are sky high, and I don't really think you get your money's worth a lot of these places. The Airbnbs in particular are very dated and just need a big upgrade. Restaurants, I think both have a very good selection of restaurants, particularly in Punta Romano, Marbella, got some great selections, but I would probably say overall Ibiza is the better choice because not only do they have a really great selection, but you have the views, like the settings of some of these restaurants on the beaches. For example, Amante, unbelievable. So Ibiza wins that one. The weather, again, fairly consistent. Both of these places having good weather in the summer months, but I would say in Ibiza it gets a little bit too humid, right? Especially in August, it is just really, really humid and pretty uncomfortable, whereas in Marbella it has its kind of own microclimate where the humidity stays a little bit lower, and overall it's a couple of degrees lower. And I would say most of the time it's got clearer skies because of that lower humidity. So both places amazing for tanning, but overall Marbella wins it for the climate. Next one, getting around the place, taxis. Ibiza is not going to win this one. Getting around Ibiza is an absolute nightmare. Ubers are not allowed. The actual legal taxi system which they use is pretty horrendous, and most of the time they can't even find where it is you need picked up from, and during the summer months it's just really difficult to get a taxi, whereas in Marbella you do have more selection. I would say you probably do need a car in both places, but in Ibiza you definitely do need a car if you want to be going out and about. Nightlife, which nightlife is better? Well, I think Ibiza wins that one clearly. There is quite a lot of places to go to as well in Marbella, but the crowd, the music, the selection, the vibe, it's just not the same. You cannot beat Ibiza. Partying in Ibiza is the absolute best of the best, day and night. The people, the vibe, what are they like? I think overall Ibiza is going to win this one just because you have such a wide selection of people going to Ibiza and everybody's just there in the best mood. And finally, the overall livability of each place. Where could you live long term? Well, this is completely dependent upon what it is that you like, and I guess as well how disciplined you are. For you to live in Ibiza, especially over the summer months for a long period of time, will require you to be extremely disciplined and not to get tempted to go out, because every single day there is something going on. In Marbella, I feel as though there's just more people who actually live here, and there's more people working on a day-to-day basis. So I think it's easier to get into like a good routine here, get your work done and not be distracted with so much that's going on. One of the biggest issues I found when I was living in Ibiza in the summer in 2020 and 2021 is there's just so much going on and literally nobody's there working. Everybody goes to Ibiza to have a good time and to party, and you just feel like you're the only person there working. So overall, what is the score? I've lost count, but it's definitely going to be on the screen. And I know, for me at least, Ibiza is the winner. Oh, okay, I also have a lemon. Is that a lime tree or a lemon tree? Somebody tell me what's the difference between a lime tree and a lemon tree. Okay, it's definitely a lemon tree because that one is yellow. Nice. Nice. And then we have the whip of choice for this trip. Now, I wanted a black one. I've had a black one before. This is red. Red just looks a little bit, I don't know, looks a bit feminine, to be honest. This is the BMW Z4. Quite a nippy little automobile. I like it because it's like driving around in a go-kart, low to the ground, pretty fast. Not very practical, but it doesn't matter because I don't have much luggage and it's just me. And of course it's a convertible because Marbella has the best weather for driving with the top down. Quite a cool feature with this car is you have the Sport, Comfort and Eco Pro option. I don't know what the friggin' hell that one is, but Comfort and Sport's pretty cool. If you feel like ragging it around like a go-kart, Sport is the one. But if you want more of a comfortable ride, which I'm probably going to go for right now, we have a character and a half. Hello. Good day, sir. What the freaking what was that? So we are out here in the notorious Porta Banús. A lot of funny times here. For those that don't know, I used to work here back in 2000 and 2010, 2011. During that summer when I turned 21. Just finished university, scraped a degree, got a third, which basically meant I'd pretty much failed and no big business or corporation or company was going to take me on, because there's far too many other people who actually had a decent degree. So I decided to work here for the summer as a club promoter, and yeah, let's just say that was eventful. Pretty much going out every single night, drinking every night, working from 10 p.m. till 3, 4 a.m, then going out after that. And in fact, I actually used to live in one of those apartments there behind the Tibu nightclub. I don't even know if Tibu is a nightclub anymore, but yeah, funny times. So main reason I've come here is not to have a look around, because I've already looked around this place millions of times before. It's actually because I need to do a bit of shopping and just refresh the summer wardrobe, because it is getting a little bit tired. So there is one spot which I can always rely on to get some good garments, and that is Marbella, which is a brand from Saint-Tropez. Friends with the owner. We actually did a collaboration with them about a year ago on the swim shorts Thirst and Bain de Mer, which is pretty cool. But they've opened a new store here. They've actually moved from the old store last year to another store, a bigger store. So I'm going to check out what they've got and hopefully stock up on a couple of new items. This is pretty wild. Leather. Leather. This is sick. Material is unbelievable. Had to get the matching set.
Yeah, I think you have
Almost a brand new summer wardrobe. What are we saying then? Quick house tour. We have the kitchen, very spacious, everything we need. We also have a little dining table here, outdoor barbecue spot, pretty cool. Nice plants. Gotta appreciate the plants. I have the same plants in my apartment. Respect that. We have a very cool TV lounge area. Those sofas look extremely comfortable. Bit of LED action on the roof, big fat TV with some speakers. And then we also have 3 bedrooms, which is pretty unnecessary for me because it's just me. This is the master for the master, looking out to the pool. This is my little back garden. 3 sun lounges and a little cabana. Also got decent TV here. Nice, that'll do. Right guys, we are out here. Elements Gym. It's actually the evening time, the time when I never train. But the sun sets so late at the moment, it gets dark at like 10:30. So my body clock is kind of changed a little bit. So what we're doing is, we're doing some weights, baby. But since I've done everything on my split, which I'm currently doing, today we're just going to do a little bit of fine tuning, right? We're just going to do some biceps, triceps and rear delts. It's a bit of a fun session, which I'm doing because very soon I'll be doing a new split, which is now out on my app. It's the upper lower split. So whenever I'm training just arms, I'll usually start off with a heavy compound movement for the triceps. Try and shift as much weight as possible. Usually I would go for some sort of a dip movement where I'm locked in a position so I can maximize the resistance used. Or I'd do some sort of a close grip press. Again, I would probably prefer to use a Smith machine. After this, moving on to the heaviest bicep exercise I'm going to do of the day, and that will be a preacher curl machine. I like this one a lot because you're just locked into position. There's not really any room for cheating. And I also like the resistance profile on this particular machine. The next exercise is a really good tricep focused one. Not many gyms have this machine. I've found that doing one arm at a time really allows you to stabilize yourself and just reduce how much cheating that may occur. Whenever you do both arms at the same time, it just doesn't really hit that different. But doing it this way really does hit the spot. Next, on to another one of my favorite exercises, probably the go-to exercise if I could only choose one bicep exercise for the rest of my life. It would be a creature curl. Again, I'm fully locked in position. There is no cheating. I'm just maintaining all the tension on my biceps, and I will just change my grip from time to time. And then moving on to a tricep focused exercise. This one is one I picked up recently. Whenever you do a push down, I always found, especially at this point when I'm lifting a lot of resistance, it becomes more of a core exercise, just trying to stabilize myself and keep myself fixed in position. Whereas when I use the bench and position everything in this way, it allows me to really fix my torso in place. So I can now just focus all the tension on the triceps, and it just allows me to shift even more weight. And as you can see, I've actually stacked the entire stack and have needed to add a little bit more resistance to the stack itself. And then finishing off with some rear delts. I thought I'd just throw this in because it is a little bit of a weak point of mine. If you want to try and focus more of the tension on the rear delts, I recommend using a neutral grip, which I am doing instead of a pronated one. Trust me, when you do this, you will notice the difference. And then a little physique check. I absolutely love how my physique looks after I've trained arms. They literally double in size and really complement the physique. Oh, what do we have here?
Un lemon fresh from the tree. I guess.
Guess we've got to give it a try, hey? Very good session at the gym. Feeling extremely pumped, extremely satisfied. And we have quite a breathtaking view right in front of me. The sun is setting, but we don't get good sunsets here. That's one thing I forgot to mention earlier. Ibiza versus Marbella, the sunsets are not even in the same league as Ibiza. So now I'm going to have a one-on-one with this Komodo dragon, which every time I've glanced over at the wall, I've thought it's real. Literally every single time it's got me. Don't know why they put that there, but it's tripping me out. Right guys, it's time to head out, put the camera away and end this vlog here. These solo vlogs do take a little bit more effort when I'm filming everything, but rest assured the next video I'll be reunited with a cameraman and we will be doing Ibiza Part 2. And this time it's going to be a little bit more lively. So keep your eyes peeled for that. I'll see you in the next video.